For the 1,000th time this season, the Spartans were in it and they couldn't complete the finish. My name's Omari Sankofa.
And I'm John Neidhart.
Yeah, on the road Saturday, Spartans, they were pretty much non-competitive almost the entire time against Nebraska until about the 3:30 mark when senior guard Travis Trice and then junior guard Denzel Valentine decided to wake up. And boy, did they. They got layups, they made jump shots, they got offensive rebounds. Trice had a 4-point play. And, for a team that was down 15 with about 7 minutes left, to trim that score to 2, with 2 seconds left, it really says a lot just about how much Travis Trice and Denzel Valentine mean to this team. You go from not competing at all to suddenly these two guys wake up and start playing out of their minds. And they came this close to winning, and that's kind of been the trend of the season. This team goes wherever that guard duo goes, and they haven't been as consistent as you need them to. And I think yesterday really was just the perfect example of how much they mean to this team.
Yeah, I mean, really across the board, Michigan State's kind of been inconsistent. They've shown flashes at the end yesterday how they could piece together all those points and catch back up, but that hasn't been there the whole time this year. Travis Trice, yeah, he kind of carried them at the end there. He willed his way, he willed the team back into it. But I mean, the final score does kind of hide maybe some of the biggest issues in that game. First half free throws, like it's been all year, free throw shooting. I mean, that's something the players have control over, and they've just been missing the freebies. And that's been tough to see. Rebounding, they were pretty good, but they just they gave up bunches of points to Ram Petaway and Siobhan Shields at times that they were in a hole the whole game, and they just had to kind of fight back the whole time.
And the things that you expected to happen pretty much happened. Petaway went off for 32 points. You knew that would be the case because the Spartans lack kind of like that long athletic defender that can defend wings equally. But they have that guy Brendan Dawson. He's mostly in the paint. So guys like Petaway kind of just get a free pass. You put Valentine on him, slow him down a bit. As soon as you put Brent Forbes on him, I mean, he's doing whatever he wants. That, along with the free throw shooting, that's been an issue all season. Spartans missed several. Had they made a few more, they probably could have came back and won. But Nebraska, they were pretty much automatic down the stretch, especially in that last 2-minute span where the Spartans had to foul each and every possession. Same typical game from Brendan Dawson, who had 18 rebounds, but, as what has been demonstrated several times before, a good game from Brendan Dawson is not going to be enough. You got to have a good game from Brendan Dawson along with a good game from Trice or Valentine. Brendan Dawson also went off against Maryland the previous Saturday, but because Denzel Valentine and Travis Trice were shut down, the Spartans didn't compete in that game at all. And that's really only the second bad loss they've had this season. Most of them have been quality. But, really, it's tough to come up with a reason for why Travis Trice and Denzel Valentine are struggling so much. Because this is a team that has plenty of shooters. You would think they get the space they need to kind of make things work. And really, down the stretch, it was more of Travis Trice, just saying, whatever. I'm taking every shot needs to get back in it. He was making more than he missed. He only shot like 9 for 24 for the game, so not extremely good. But, I mean, going forward, as we've seen several times, they really, really need Travis Trice and Denzel Valentine to kind of just come in there and say, we're the alpha dogs, we're the most consistent scorers on the team. We're going to come in and we're going to lead this team to victory. And despite their veteran leadership, they have not really gotten to that point yet, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah, I mean, it's really puzzling with Valentine. He keeps getting himself into foul trouble, and Izzo's talked about how much that's hurt him as a team. When he's not out there, they do miss a big piece, and he picked up his scoring, just more active in general on the court in the second half yesterday. But he's got to be there the whole game if Michigan State wants to do anything. Travis Trice, though, I mean, he did step up down the stretch. He was in a little bit of a funk there. Maybe he got out of that. But, yeah, I think the big thing right now is Valentine. He's got to stay out of foul trouble. And, just having him out there will definitely help the team.
And they really can't afford any more of these, they competed losses. I mean, that's every single loss this season, and they have 7 of them. The going is getting tough. I mean, you're approaching the midpoint of Big Ten season. February is right around the corner, and then after that, you're in the Big Ten tournament. This is a team that will probably make it to the NCAA tournament, but at the same time, several of these wins could have easily been losses, just like several of the losses could have been wins. So, it's kind of crazy how we're almost in February and we still don't know what this team is. We know how they play, we know what works for them, we know that they like to run, they like to jump, and they like to shoot. But they can't do any of those things consistently at all. And it's kind of concerning because you play a team like Wisconsin, you need to execute everything perfectly to even, sniff a win against them. And if you draw an 8th or 9th seed in the NCAA tournament like they're currently slated to, you have to be on your P's and Q's. You really cannot afford to only have two of those three things in place. So, same thing what Izzo talked about. We have to defend, we have to rebound, we have to hit our free throws. Three basic fundamentals of the game. And that's where this team is. It's February, we're still talking about fundamentals. But with that being said, this is still a team that can scare, higher ranked team when the going gets tough.
Yeah, and it starts again on Tuesday. Tuesday night they have a team in Rutgers that that should be a win if they really want to compete this year. It starts with Rutgers, and then they're going to have Michigan over the weekend. So they have a couple games here that they can work with, kind of build themselves back up again. Because we have seen those flashes of what they can do, but we've also seen just how puzzling they can be at times.
Absolutely. We said the same thing about Penn State last week. Well, Penn State comes in and Penn State almost wins, on their home court. So Rutgers will be another test for this team. That'll be a 9 p.m. game, so certainly a late one. But we'll see how they respond to Nebraska. Once again, non-competitive up until the very last 3 minutes, where Travis Trice and Denzel Valentine kind of said, "Whoa, we're about to lose." So they need to have that same mindset throughout the entire season, because it's not even a game-by-game thing anymore. They need to be almost flawless the rest of this year if they want to get a good seeding. You can say they'll get the benefit of the doubt by them being the Izzo coach team, but you never know, because there are a lot of people out there who think this team's going to the NIT tournament, which obviously nobody on that team wants.
Yep, definitely. They do need to make their moves. Thanks for watching today. I'm John Neidhart.
My name is Omari Sankofa. Thanks for tuning in.